Hello and welcome to this recorded session from First Citizens Bank. This presentation provides information for you regarding the Bob Advantage new secure sign-in experience and multi-factor authentication options. Both of these new features are introduced here and will soon be implemented for all Bob clients as part of your routine banking experience. We're glad you're here today as we provide information on each of these features and demonstrate how they benefit and work for you. Our session today will run approximately 30 minutes, so let's jump right in. We're here to help guide you through some beneficial changes being implemented for Bob Advantage as part of our increased security efforts that align with recent federal regulatory updates. The changes include a new login experience for all of our Bob Advantage clients, as well as the selection and use of multi-factor authentication options. Today, we'll introduce and demonstrate the recently upgraded Bob Advantage new login experience, showing you where to go to log in to your Bob accounts from our newly designed First Citizens website. We'll also provide you with an overview of multi-factor authentication options, what they look like, and the benefits to you. Please know as we go through the presentation, we will commonly refer to multi-factor authentication options as MFA options to simplify that term. We'll walk you through the various choices of MFA options to help you determine which might work best for you. In addition, we'll demonstrate the registration process and what to expect once your option is in place. And finally, we'll mention where you can find resources, including detailed step-by-step instructions on how to select MFA options. Not only are new updates happening for Bob Advantage, there has also been a complete update of the First Citizens Bank website to make navigation and locating information easier for you. Let's look at how that will affect your login experience. Here's a comparison of the current login location on our homepage, side by side with the new redesigned homepage. On the current homepage, your login is located on the left-hand side in the blue box. With the newly designed site, now you will go to the upper right-hand side of the screen, click the login icon, and a Welcome Back pop-up window will appear where you can log in to your accounts. Once you enter the First Citizens portal and begin to log into Bob Advantage, you'll be greeted with this login screen to access your Bob accounts. It's quite different from what you've seen in the past. We've improved the secure sign-in experience in several ways. You can see it has a clean and simplified look with a reduced number of screens that you have to go through. Instead of 3 steps, we've consolidated it to 2 steps, decreasing the time it takes to get into Bob and increasing security. We've replaced a somewhat archaic process with a seamless and intuitive experience, making it easier for you. And the new login is now modernized as we retire the older application and replace it with a verification system aligned with current industry standards and one much more familiar to the way you do business today. The beauty of the improved login experience is it has minimal changes to the information you already know and use. It really is the same information you use today, provided in a slightly different way. Each Bob client will have a new username created by combining your current customer and user IDs with a period between the two. Here is an example of what that looks like. As you can see here, the original customer ID, Central F, and the original user ID, MXB14, have been put together to form a new username for signing in, Central F, period, MXB14. You can keep your current password as well, as there's no need to change it unless you want to. Because of the new sign-in features, you might be prompted to resave your current password, and in case you don't remember it, you have an option to change it as well. Let's watch it in action. Here I am typing in my new username, followed by my password, And once that's in, I can either hit the return key or click sign in, and it will put me right into the platform. And there you have it. As you can see, it's really quite intuitive and easy. If you use Google Authenticator today, you'll have an added verification window to verify your identity at login and for all transaction authorizations. The window looks like the picture on the right-hand side of the screen. Once the Bob Google Authenticator pop-up window appears, you'll be prompted to provide a code sent to your mobile device through the Google Authenticator app. It's a simple addition, and it will naturally become part of your usual login experience. This short video demonstrates just how easy it really is. You can see here that I'm logging in again with my username and my password, and then I click sign in, and my Bob Google Authenticator pop-up window shows up. I go to Google Authenticator, get my code, enter it, click verify, and I'm in the system. Very easy. The extra prompt isn't going to be limited to Google Authenticator clients. Eventually, all of our clients will have an additional verification method upon logging into Bob. It's a good place for us to segue here because Google Authenticator is a great example of what we mean when we say multi-factor authenticator or MFA option. Many electronic applications we use today require the use of one or more MFAs to confirm a person's identity when logging into sensitive or confidential data. So, precisely what is an MFA and what does it look like? Well, multi-factor authentication is a cybersecurity term, and it's been around since the 1990s, but we really have been doing it for years. Before smartphones became ubiquitous, we used several different forms of hard copy identification and passwords on our computers, but usually we only needed one identifier. But now we identify ourselves electronically all the time, and a single password no longer offers sufficient protection. Using multi-factor authentication involves providing one or more of three types of unique factors or qualities. This includes something you either know, like the answer to a question. What is the name of your first pet is an example. Something that you have, such as a code that is randomly generated and provided to you, or something that you are, something physical, an example of something that you alone possess, a fingerprint or a face ID are good examples of that. If you break down each word of the acronym, it really defines itself very clearly. First, multi. Very easy. We all know that means more than one. Second, factor. In this case, we mean a form, a method, or a thing that will identify a person. And finally, authentication, which is a way to demonstrate or prove you are who you claim to be. In the past, we've offered the use of MFAs, such as Google Authenticator, as an option, but added security improvements and updated regulatory standards have made the implementation of MFAs a standard requirement. First Citizens will implement the standard this fall, transitioning all of our clients in waves. The benefits MFAs provide are substantial and invaluable. Use of MFAs strengthens our capability to safeguard your data by adding an extra requirement to verify your identity. Having that additional requirement substantially reduces risks to our customers while protecting your financial information. One of the strongest benefits of using MFAs is that it allows visibility at each stage of the authentication process. It provides a reference point and can flag or indicate any unusual behavior. At First Citizens, we offer 4 options of MFAs, so you can select the options that work best for you. We've included options that engage a mobile device and also a non-mobile option for those who do not wish to use a mobile device. If you are registering for the first time, we recommend registering for 2 or more options so you have an alternate verification method in case one does not work or if you don't always carry or use your mobile device. New Bob customers will be required to select an MFA option when they become Bob clients, and, as we mentioned, MFAs will eventually become a requirement for all Bob customers. Current customers who have not yet registered to use an MFA option will have an opportunity to register prior to the effective date of the requirement. In the next few weeks, a pop-up window with a link to register will appear when logging into your Bob account. Current Google Authenticator clients are not required to re-register, register anew, or make any changes at this time. We provide an opportunity for you to opt in early prior to the enforcement date. If you aren't currently a Google Authenticator client, a pop-up window will appear when you log into Bob, providing you the opportunity to register early. Simply select Set up Multi-Factor Authentication to begin. Let's look at each of the MFA options offered to you at First Citizens. We have enlarged the selection panel content here for easier viewing. We offer options for use with a mobile device and for those of you who prefer not to use a mobile device. The first choice on the menu is Okta Verify. Okta Verify uses a push notification system that sends a message to your mobile device to verify your identity. It requires you to download an app from Apple App Store or Google Play, depending on the kind of device you have. The second option is Google Authenticator. It verifies your identity by generating a unique code that you enter each time you log into Bob. Google Authenticator also requires an app. The third item listed here is Bob Google Authenticator. Enrollment for this option is no longer available. It appears here as a reference for the convenience of our pre-existing Bob Google Authenticator clients and separates new Google Authenticator clients from those who already have it. If you attempt to select this option for enrollment, you will receive a message that it is unavailable to you, redirecting you back to Google Authenticator. Our third option is text message authentication, which uses a code sent to your mobile phone as an SMS or text message. And lastly, voice call authentication allows identity verification without a mobile device by calling via phone and following voice instructions. This chart indicates the features of each option, including the app downloads required for Okta Verify and Google Authenticator. And while all of these are good choices, we recommend Okta Verify as it has the most advanced and enhanced security of the added MFA options. We also like Okta Verify because it is the most convenient and easy to use MFA option. It requires only one-touch confirmation using your mobile device. It requires no codes at all, and it provides an extra layer of security by requiring additional confirmation when a customer logs in from a different device or a different location. The additional security provided by Okta Verify helps to reveal any unusual activity quickly and easily, and will demonstrate how Okta Verify and other MFA options work for you in a moment. But before we do, there are some common initial steps that all clients must complete during the registration process. Number 1 is signing into Bob, of course. Upon sign-in, current Bob customers without Google Authenticator will see a pop-up window appear to offer you the opportunity to opt in prior to the activation date. Choosing to set up multi-factor authentication opens the Options panel where you can select your choice of MFA to indicate you want to register. Once you do that, In step 4, you'll see that a pop-up window appears to confirm your setup. You'll then click a link to the specific instructions for the selected option. You'll be able to select all of your options sequentially in the same time period once you begin your selection process. The system will return you to the menu after each selection until you are finished choosing your options. Now, if you decide to register for Okta Verify or for Google Authenticator, you will need to download the Okta Verify or Google Authenticator app for your mobile device. Typically, that will be an iPhone, which requires uploading from the Apple App Store, or an Android phone, which requires uploading from Google Play. Doing this prior to registering will allow the registration process to flow without you having to stop to download an app. Most options take very little time to set up. Here are the sequential steps for Okta Verify as an example. From the MFA options menu, click Setup under the Okta Verify option. Select your device type, an iPhone or an Android phone. Download the Okta Verify app if you haven't already from the Apple App Store or Google Play on your device. Then go back to your Bob screen and click Next. On your mobile device, launch the app, select Add an Account, then scan the QR code, which is this fuzzy-looking square box, using your mobile device by allowing the app access to your camera. If it doesn't work, you'll see right here there is a little question that says Can't Scan. If you click here, you'll be provided with alternate directions. Registration is then complete as indicated by the green circled check. This quick video demonstrates how fast and easy it is to register for any of the options. We use Okta Verify here in this demo. Once you click on the Setup button, you're then asked to identify your device type. You can download the app if you haven't already. Click Next, launch your app, and then you can scan the QR code that's provided on your screen. Once you do that, you'll see the little green circle with the white check, and that will confirm you are all set. You will also receive a confirmation email when you set up your multi-factor authenticator on Bob. It's very easy. As I've mentioned, we're sensitive to those of you who might not prefer to use a mobile device. And if that is the case, voice call authentication might just be the option for you. Voice call authentication is done via phone call. To register, select the voice call authentication option, type in a phone number where you would like to receive a call from our voice authentication system, and click Call. Our system calls the phone number you have indicated, identifies itself as the First Citizens Bank voice authentication system, and provides a spoken verification code for you to then enter into your Bob login screen for verification. Be sure to write it down so you don't forget it. You might be wondering, if I have registered for 2 or more MFA options, how does Bob know which one to use? Well, that's a good question. Actually, you'll designate which option you prefer as your default, and the other options you choose will remain as backups. In addition to these 2 MFA options, there are 2 more. These are the steps for registering for Google Authenticator. Google Authenticator registration is very similar to Okta Verify, but it has one major difference in how it works. Instead of a push notification, the Google Authenticator app generates a numbered code for you to enter at login. And once you enter that code, then your registration is complete. And last but not least, our 4th option is text message authentication, also known as Secure Messaging Service, or SMS. This option requests you to input a phone number, request a code be sent to that number, and you will then receive the code to enter into the login screen to verify yourself. You might be asking, how does the verification actually work once I've installed my MFA options? Well, that's a great question too. You'll verify your identity using prompts from your Bob login screen with the help of your mobile device. For our example here, we are using the Okta Verify app. Let's see how communication works between the two systems. After signing in to Bob, a pop-up window appears with the option to send a push notification. When you select that button, immediately you will receive a message on your mobile device asking if you just tried to sign in. Simply answer yes or no to the question. If you answer yes, you may initially receive a prompt to select a number appearing on your computer login screen. This can appear when you're attempting to log in from another device or location. Once you select the correct number, you'll be logged in. If you answer no, you'll receive notification that you rejected the login. When that happens, you have an opportunity to reselect to send another push notification. And there you have it. That's how it all comes together. As you begin using the new login process and determine the MFA options that work best for you, we're here to help. We have several resources that provide step-by-step instructions and answers to your most frequently asked questions. Start with our First Citizens website at www.firstcitizens.com/BobGuide. Or you can also call the Customer Care Center at the number that is provided on your screen. We really appreciate your time today. Thank you so much.